All right, good evening. We are here with our eighth installment for our Summer Success Series lineup that Allison and I have made. Oh, I don't know when we first talked about it, Allison, but a while ago. And we're here with our final two topics. These two topics are the two topics that are going to carry us on to continued growth and leadership and entrepreneurship. So we're here to speak on tonight both retention and recognition. Surely these are topics many of you have heard before, but they're always topics worth revisiting. And the key, both of these, to long-term success and income and growth with Isagenix. You all have already met Miss Allison a couple weeks ago, and I will be bringing her on after I get to speak on retention. So those of you on my team have heard me speak about this before. And in fact, I pulled up a Facebook Live from our business group from 2017. I spent about 10 minutes talking about retention, and I relearned a few things from my very self. So how cool is that? I want to first tell everyone briefly how you calculate your own retention and what company-wide retention is. Company-wide retention always lingers right around 33%. That means 33% of your personal enrollments will be continuing to order their Isagenix products, and the other 66 to 67% are not actively ordering every month. That figure is a little bit startling because we know we have many very happy customers, but that 67% accounts for all of the human error, operator error, lack of commitment, you name all the reasons why, I don't want to say excuses, but reasons why people don't continue or they never make it through their first box. But a lot of that has to do with us, the very sponsor or health mentors that these customers have. And there are absolutely ways where we can increase our own retention, and it should be of great priority and value to you to not only be good at it, but to learn more on how to increase your retention. Because what does that mean? When we have higher retention, especially higher than average, A, you should be very proud of yourself, but B, it means your customers are continuing on their health journey. It means their bodies and their families are being blessed by our products every single day. It means that you're generating business volume in your downline, which equals residual income and cycles for your very own self. So it's twofold why we want our retention high, of course. If you calculate your retention after this call tonight, your retention is low, especially extremely low, then that's a place of exploration to really hone in on what you're doing, what you're not doing. Talk to your leader or your mentor or Allison or I about what you could do differently and how to grow that retention again. But how you find your retention is you log into your back office, you pull up your View My Team tab that lists out all of your personally enrolled. And the far right column tells you the product that has been ordered in the last 30 days. And you'll count up all of the enrollments you've ever had. I'll share that for me, it's around like 250. It's nothing extraordinary. But out of that, out of your total number of enrollments then, and there's 50 on a page, for those of you that have more than one page of enrollments listed, there's 50 on each page. You don't have to count them all. And then you're going to add up the amount of customers that have ordered 100 BV or more in the last 30 days. And then your customers that are still ordering regardless of the order size. So you kind of have two retention rates. Who's really on the products using 100 BV more a month, or who's kind of loosely ordering their hydrate canister every month at 14 BV, right? Now, and then you'll divide one by the other and you'll come up with your percentage. We all can do that. If you're in and around 33%, congrats, your company average. If you're above 33%, remarkable. You're above average, and that's where Allison and I want each and every one of you. So that's the simple calculation. I will share that mine has always ebbed and flowed anywhere between 30 and 40%. So don't think that leaders in Isagenix or even those top 50 or top 20 income earners that you see, we all have a retention rate in and around 33%. There isn't anyone out there who's been in for longer than a few months to a year that has a 100% retention. It's just not human nature. So don't beat yourself up over that. But again, really explore if it's low. So some ways, and I've got some sticky notes on the side of my computer here, some ways to increase retention is obviously to build a relationship with your customers, your prospects segueing into your customers, showing that you truly care about each and every one of their health journeys, where they're at in their life, and the needs that they have in starting Isagenix. Ask more questions to build the building blocks of that foundation of your relationship, especially if it's someone that you didn't know well or didn't know at all before Isogenics. Care about their personal life. These are all things that can take time, but it doesn't take an extraordinary amount of time to say, how was your vacation I saw you were just on? Or someone that confides in you about an ailment or illness of a family member or a daughter, checking in on that person. One of the best ways to build a relationship is truly via phone or belly to belly. So for those that just still text message, get these enrollments in and they only communicate via text message, that's okay. You can answer heartfelt conversations via text message, but relationships are built much quicker when you're able to voice communicate. Maybe that looks like Marco Polo for you and your customer, or Voxer, or just a simple old school phone call. I find that that initial call, that welcome call, you name it, is a really powerful tool. So don't discount our words and our curiosity into their life and remembering what they have shared with you about their life. I had a business meeting with a new person who hasn't yet joined my team, and she previously told me via Instagram direct messenger that she was a student and in school. She's older and has kids. So when I met with her, I forgot that she was in school and I couldn't reference that. And I asked how she spent her days and I felt really bad because she had already told me that and I didn't make an actual note about it. So we want to care and we want to remember, because that's what's going to be most important and most notable to them. I'll tell you, as seeing patients and in eye care, I always would take notes about my patients, the ages of their kids, what they did for a living, if they told me their dog or cat's name, whatever was relevant to them in our conversation during the exam was always in the chart. So when I saw them a few months later, a year later, hey, how's Charlie, your son, doing? Gosh, he might be in a sophomore now. And that personal touch is absolutely everything, because you not only want to be the best mentor and the best sponsor ever, you want to be the best human in their life, their ultimate cheerleader. We are professional cheerleaders. And none of us want to be mediocre, and none of us want to be mediocre mentors. I mean, none of you want to be mediocre wives or spouses. None of you want to be mediocre parents. If you really think about wanting to be the absolute best, I challenge you to do whatever you can to be the absolute best for your customers. That's snail mail, that's surprise text messages, that's making sure you're checking in with them and during their cleanse day that you've helped them set up. That's just being the best gosh darn human you can possibly be. And that, yeah, might require taking notes. I have a whole book here of my customers and my prospects, and I take notes on every single one of them so that I remember so-and-so doesn't like the birthday cake shake because she told me how much she didn't like it. I'm not going to tell her tomorrow that it's available because I already know she doesn't like it. She told me. So little chicken scratch notes can make things so personable. And here's the reason why this is important in retention. People will walk away from a product, but they will not walk away from you. If you are the best mentor and cheerleader and health coach they have ever had, no matter how hard those cleanse days are or how much they don't like our shake shaken, they only like them blended, whatever it might be, they're not going to walk away from you. If you build up enough support, kindness, a friendship, and even more importantly, a community or a culture. And that's where our team pages come full circle, and those product pages. You guys, those product pages are not for you on this call. They are for our heavy product users, our steadfast customers, and our brand new customers. So they can be tied into a culture and a community right away. And you want to know one of the most valuable things you can do for your retention and those product pages is be active, show up, contribute, comment, tag them in things. You guys, the Facebook algorithm is no secret. When you are mutual friends with people and you're both in a group and you post in that group, they're going to see it first. They're going to see it before they see my post or Allison's or Gretchen's or any of the leaders that are constantly posting in there. They're going to see what you post. So if you want them to see something, or you're compelled to share an article on Ionics or shout out people who are cleansing that day, that culture and that community is going to be the absolute world to them. So showing up in those product pages is huge. And trust me, we see the ones that show up on those product pages, and we see the ones that won't ever comment. You know, they don't spend a minute on there. But if you want to grow your personal retention with your personal team, it's to be very active on those. And that is only asking a minute or two a day, not asking you to run the page, but to contribute to that. So tying them into that community and that culture, making sure that they can trust and confide, and they know that you as their sponsor have heard and evaluated and really acknowledged their health goals or the hardships they're in life or whatever it might be. And I kind of jumped over, but keeping records truly of your downline or your customers, keep jotting those notes, making those files or those charts so that you don't have to keep it all up here, but that you can flip through and be reminded of X, Y, and Z when you know you're going to chat with that person or meet up with that person. And then next, create an intimacy with them. Show them that you're in this for a lot more than just getting their money. None of us would keep pursuing isogenics if it was only the money keeping us going. Those people are no longer in our company. If you're still here and you're still building, you have a genuine goals and dreams for your future. Amen. It is okay to want more money. And that is the goal. But you thoroughly enjoy helping people transform their lives with these products because yours too has been transformed, right? So creating that just intimate, just like and relationship with your people is going to be very, very important. Okay. Focusing, that just goes back. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes. Focusing on people and not just getting paid. So if I can emphasize that, that would be, leading from that servant heart and having good intentions is, again, why you all are still here and still believe in this company. If you don't have a leader or a sponsor that ever had active relationship and an active place in your health journey, and you didn't have that great example of what you want to be, keep looking up or look beside you. There are plenty of people who successfully shake and cleanse coach and welcome new customers into the team that have gone before you or are going next to you that you can turn to and guide to. So for those that didn't have a great experience with your sponsor in terms of that initial support, it's okay. I know you're out there and I know you've risen above it, but just know that there's plenty of examples all the way around. Now, the next best, the key to retention is that it's going to happen. Your retention with this person is going to happen all within that first 30 days. That first 30 days is going to absolutely make or break whether this person stays in our community and stays on our products. So a great example I have is I ordered doTERRA a couple years ago, 2.5 years ago, through a referral from a friend in Isogenics. So this doTERRA woman, I did not know at all, but I had laryngitis and no voice for 9 days and I was desperate to try anything. You guys, I ordered like the stupid big pack. I've never even touched probably 90% of them, but I was so desperate for something and someone to help me that I was referred to this person. I ordered this pack. It arrived at my door. Still to this day, I have never heard another single word from this person. Never texted to see if my products arrived, never texted to see if I ever got my waist back, never texted to see if I needed any help. And you guys, oils are extremely overwhelming. Can we all agree? There's a million. And when you're stupid enough to buy a big pack, you have a million oils you don't even know what to do with, and essential oils. And it still hurts my heart that this woman enrolled me in that way, set up a wholesale account for me, and never, ever, ever circled back or helped me. So remember that story. Just don't ever be that person. I've never ordered from her again. In fact, I have a doTERRA account through somebody else now. and that is bad retention. She never earned any more money off of me. She didn't deserve to. So be the person.
She's back. Lindsay? Lindsay? Okay, if you guys can hear me.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good. Are you there?
Yeah, it just cut off. I've never had that happen before. Like it's a post attendee Zoom. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, you guys. That didn't happen to anybody else? Oh, it's just me?
No, we're still here.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. Okay, I thought the call maybe ended or something. Oh, thank you, Allison. I'll wrap up and then I'll kick it over to you.
You're talking about the doTERRA lady, and it was like kind of going in and out. So maybe you have
got it. Okay. Well, in short, I ordered a big doTERRA pack from this referral I got to start a doTERRA account, and she never, ever, ever followed up with me after I got my pack. I never have to this day heard another single word from her. And so of course I didn't keep ordering from her, but it was just a really great example of a really bad network marketer. And I just don't want any of us to be that way because she didn't serve me. She didn't help me. I never used those oils because I didn't know what to do with them and definitely didn't get any retention. So we just want to be opposite of that. So that brings me to my next question, which might be hard for some people to hear, but are your customers walking away or not staying on these products because of something you haven't done? Are there times where you haven't helped a customer in a way you forgot that you enrolled a customer, that it was 3 weeks into their first month before you circled back and asked them? So not only think about what you can be doing to serve them, but think back to past experiences or customers that didn't last very long. Maybe what it is that you didn't do that caused them to walk away to a different diet or a different person or different products and company altogether. And then duplication. The last secret, not so secret, is duplication. Listen, we're all leading really busy lives. And as your teams grow, the people you're taking care of and mentoring grow in large number. And so being able to duplicate yourself and sharing your support and your wisdom and your tips in a fashion of duplication from your own self is going to be the most important. So that's having templates. That's having a welcome email template. That's having this is how you adjust your auto ship and what I recommend template to send them on their 4th week on their products, their first month. That's having a cheerleading cleanse day template, a text. This is all things that you can cut and paste. I keep them in my notes section on my phone so that when I remember so-and-so is cleansing today, and I write that stuff down, you guys. I don't have my planner with me, but I write down when I enroll a new customer, I write down 30 days from then when their auto ship date is so that I can circle back and I make sure I don't forget their first auto ship date. And then as soon as we together decide on their first cleanse day, I write that down on my planner. So there's no way for me to forget because I'm looking at my planner every single day. And I know a lot of you probably use your phone planners and you can set reminders on your phones if you're that fancy too. I'm so old school, but it's okay to have to remind yourself. I don't expect you to keep track of everybody, but the key is being professional enough to take that step to write all of these things down so that you can handhold a lot that first month. And after that first month, you guys, we give our customers wings to fly, right? I mean, you don't have to check in with them this often all the time, but that first 30 days is going to make or break their journey. And that first auto ship, are they going to fill that cart? Are you helping them? Or are they not? And they're never going to order again. And that's really the defining moment and how important those first 30 days are. So being able to duplicate yourself and then teach your team to duplicate is really, really important. So I've been speaking on retention from obviously a customer standpoint. I'll throw in real quick that retention from a business standpoint is, of course, getting people to events so they can see just how bold, big, and beautiful our company is, and the training you get at events, and just the inspiration you get at events, and helping your customers get paid in the first 30 days. I mean, Eric Worre has some statistic that if you help a customer earn $1 in the first 30 days, then they're going to stick around for 80% longer than any other customer will. It's some statistic along those lines. I know I'm butchering the numbers, but the point is that first 30 days is also the magical space to help them earn a PIB or 2 and become a consultant. Because once they've received some income back, they have an even higher belief in isogenics. They probably want to earn income further or more compensation down the line, and they're more committed to these products and our company and this health journey. So getting our people paid in the first 30 months, however big or small, and inviting to events are going to be your best keys to starting the retention from a business and opportunity standpoint. Now I'm going to screen share just real quick because I have one quick screen that is our checklist. Katie Noah and I had made this a while ago about starting a new member. And I'm just going to do this so you all can screenshot if you like. Maybe I can't screen share.
You should be able to.
I know it's not on here. Oh my gosh, you guys, my screen looks really wonky too. Okay, I have it in a PDF. I will send it to Allison and she can post on your guys' team pages.
We'll put it in the group.
Those on my team, it's on my Daily Health Biz under files. Yeah, I don't have a lot of the things that's normally on my Zoom screen. Okay, so without further ado, now that I butchered this call, I'll look through the chat. If there's any questions for me, you guys post them. I'll look through that right now while Allison kicks off. I want to share something about Allison first. You all know she's a top income earner in Isogenics, and she does have 3 little girls. She's a super busy mom. She came from corporate America. She worked for Target for years, but she has extremely high empathy, and she's very good at pouring belief into people, and she's very good at recognition. So in all the ways she's going to share recognition now, I want you to take notes, because things big and small, we get the distinct privilege to do with not only our business partners, but our customers as well. So Allison, thank you for being on.
Oh my gosh, thank you, Lindsay. That was so kind and so I was so unprepared for that. That was so sweet. Can you guys hear me okay? Just to make sure the connection flipped okay. We're good. Okay, so yes, I am pumped to share with you guys about recognition, because I truly believe, and Lindsay did amazing. She is so good at retention, right? So good at retention. One thing that I would love for you guys to do right now, if you have a higher than 35% retention rate, put a note in the comments right now. If you've calculated yours and say like, I'm 40%, I'm 50%. Like if you have a higher one, I would love for you to just put it in the comments right now so we can recognize you. because it feels good, right? It feels good to be recognized. And there's something, I honestly, you guys, employee mindset is, and I've heard this, I think PK Smith talked about this, employee mindset is like trying to avoid pain just enough to collect a paycheck, right? And entrepreneur mindset is creating and building and growing more. And so when I think about Isagenix and I think about the last 7 weeks and all the work that we have done over the past 7 weeks, we have created curiosity. We have invited people to take a look. We've followed up with people like crazy. We have gotten people started and plugged them in. We've become a professional. We've time managed our way into this. We have developed leaders. And so if you do all of that, and then you don't have retention and you don't have recognition and community, and really what this week is about is like the secret sauce of keeping people there, you're always going to be starting back at the beginning, right? And that's like the last thing that you want to have to do. You want to create a base that then you grow from that base, and then you create a new base and you grow from that base, and then you create a new base and you grow from that base. And so I want to just empower you guys, empower the heck out of you to know that recognition is so, so important. And I have, if you're taking notes, I have a little list of what it is and what it is not, and so that you can write them down and follow along with me. And it's just helping them tweak and find what they love. Like maybe you have someone that never wants to do a cleanse day. I actually know of certain Isagenix millionaires. I won't name them here, but you can always ask me later. But certain ones that do not cleanse, like they don't ever do a cleanse day, but they love the products, right? Some people you're going to find shakes, Isagenesis. Some people are going to be on the gut health stuff. Some people are just going to rock the amped line. And so part of retention is saying, okay, we have something for everyone. What is it? Maybe the whole family gets on the vitamins. Maybe that's what they do. Maybe the whole family is on the complete essentials with Isagenesis, and then the kids take IsaKids. Like, that's okay. And I want us to be empowered to think through how people are using these products, and that, all your hard work is not lost when you're able to do that. So what is recognition? Recognition is, number one, it's powerful. Recognition is so powerful, you guys. People in their daily life do not go through life feeling seen and heard a lot. They just don't. They don't get a lot of pats on the back. Adults, especially, they're busy parents, pouring into their kids. Heidi, the kids' vitamins are coming back. I hope you know that. Hopefully you know that. Sorry, I just saw a comment. If you need some, let me know. They are coming back. We ordered a bunch, but they are coming back. People, this isn't a have-to business for most people. This is a get to or a want to business for most people until they get it to the point of have to, until they're over the line where it's like, okay, this is my whole thing that I'm doing. And even then it's, everyone is an at will in their work, like whatever they're doing. And so people don't get a whole lot of recognition, and they don't get seen a lot. And so it is powerful. Another thing that recognition is, it's a unique and personal thing. Recognition is, it should not be something that you just are just doing just the same thing all the time. If what you do is just a simple post and that's all you do every week, the same thing, people will start to just pick up on that as just like a weekly to-do, right? It's so unique and personal. If you have not done the 5 love languages, the 5 love languages, the number 5lovelanguages.com. There is a free assessment out there. And it will literally tell you how you like to receive and give love. And I know Gretchen, for example, does, and I shout her out here because she knows her entire teams, she has it in a binder of their love language. Do they like gifts? Do they like quality time? Do they like words of affirmation? Do they like acts of service? Do they like physical touch? And so it's like when you have that, and what I did right there is recognition for Gretchen. It doesn't have to be a public thing on stage. That doesn't have to be recognition, right? But it's like knowing, feeling seen and heard. There's something that is so powerful about that, right? So if you haven't done the 5lovelanguages.com, do it yourself. It's also really good for you and your spouse to do. Just a little side note if you have a spouse. or a significant other, and then also for your team and for your like enrolling sponsor or whoever it is that you want, or sideline accountability partners, whoever it is. It's such an easy way to just have the initial handle on it. So recognition is powerful. It's unique and personal. It should be personal to the person, because maybe mine is gifts, and maybe Lindsay's, this is a pure fake example, but Lindsay's is not gifts. And I'm constantly just like giving her gifts, but she doesn't feel anything from that because that's not hers. You know, like that could just be an example of one. And then she's like, well, I don't really, you know, like you have to kind of try to match the person as much as you can. The third one is recognition is easy to do, and it's also easy not to do. Recognition is easy to do. It's also easy not to do. It's one of those things that's almost like it's going to create that secret sauce in that community for your team. And I say your team, you know, your empowered team of whoever is in there for you, product users, product sharers, business builders. We can be recognizing people for their first cleanse day. We can be recognizing people for a major skill victory or non-skill victory. We can be recognizing people for their first cycle. We can be recognizing people for scraping together pennies to show up at their first event. We can be recognizing people for hosting their first launch party. We can even recognize people for hosting their first secret launch party. Honestly, if no one shows up, that's something that can still be recognized. And sometimes it's enough and it feels right to put it in the group, to just shout them out there. Sometimes a meaningful phone call or text is going to mean a whole lot more, you know? So, or even telling your enrolling sponsor, hey, could you reach out to them? You know, I have people on the team, Barbie will do that, you know, different people who'll be like, hey, will you reach out to so-and-so? She just did this. It's a quick, easy thing, you know, to get that across, to help people feel seen and heard, honestly, you guys. Number 4 then is it builds trust and it builds teams. You guys, if you have a community of trust and a community that feels like a team, you know, we always say people come for the products and they stay for the community, or people come for the income, or they come for the products or the income, those solutions, the community. We have this secret sauce. So it builds trust and it builds teams. When people feel uniquely seen and heard, they're more likely to find their place here and find their home here and be so happy when they see you and when they're with you. And it's just something that you can do, even if it's not a strength or it doesn't feel like a strength of yours, it's something that can be learned for sure. Just through little steps and little tips. And then the 5th one I have, recognition is duplicatable. It's able to be duplicated. However, you feel recognized, you're most likely going to repeat that on down and repeat that on down. You know, maybe it's holding a team happy hour and just buying a bottle of champagne when you're out at an event together. Or maybe it's little cards for your team members who hosted a Super Saturday or showed up at a Super Saturday. Or maybe it's Insta stories of about it, a post for income, and she still has it screen saved. Why do people save these screenshots? Because it feels so good. It feels so good, Susan. That makes me so happy. People feeling seen and heard. And then the things that it is not, so recognition is not a mass task. It is not something that just has to, it's not something that you're just going to mass produce ever. Flipping their accounts to associate, I'm shouting them out in the groups because I know like every enrollment, you know, even if it's an enrollment of 80 BV, that is powerful. Someone just got someone else started on isogenics, right? That's awesome. That's cool. Like, let's have more of that. So how are you personal touch so that the people who are joining you and joining your organization that you want great lengths, how are they feeling as they're going through this process? It's not always public. That's number 2. So it's not a mass task and it is not always public. It is sometimes just a private thing. Well, how can I really help make sure? I feel like people keep popping on and off. It's okay. It's okay, Linz. You know, make sure that they feel like, gosh, it took me a year to hit Crystal Director, but that person, I'm not speaking about myself, but say it takes someone a year to hit Crystal Director or Director, that person still might go and create this massively amazing, successful business and bring something amazing to the culture of your team and bring all these ideas and creativity and contribute heavily in the product groups and all of those things. Those need to be recognized. Just because, you know, it's like, don't just look at what it is on your timeline or your like pillars of success to be. And I would say recognition, some may or may not disagree with me, but it's not something to outsource. It's not something to just hand off, because it should feel personal and it should feel like a thank you from you. And I get that as teams grow, like we can certainly automate and we can cut. Going to feel different. It's going to feel different. Simple thank yous, right? And it's not my last two. It's not a one size fits all approach, which I kind of already talked about. Recognition is not a one size fits all approach, and recognition is not something you ever outgrow. So you're never going to be too big or too successful or too powerful to give recognition to people, and you're also never going to be too old or too wise to not need. Appreciate. It will grow. So what you appreciate out there will grow and it will appreciate. And I know our social media studio, is anyone out there using it? I'm not going to lie and say that I am, but because I'm loving Rana still, and Rana Collage and Rana Designs, I like just know how to do, and I love doing them. But if anyone's using the social media design studio out there, comment in the group. I know Laura Stevens is, and hers look beautiful. So comment so that we know that you love it. Recognize actions, recognize results, recognize good ideas, recognize creativity, recognize, like I said, their cleanse days, recognize smaller paychecks too. I've been seeing a lot of people, Canva, Heidi, exactly. I've been seeing a lot of people posting like when someone's made their first $500, 5 weeks to make it. Unfold is a really good one for stories, that app called Unfold. So that's pretty much what I have for you guys when it comes to recognition. Use the reports if you don't, that could be a whole separate call. And then also use ISOPULSE. The stuff that comes through your ISOPULSE, ISOBody Challenge, Healthy Mind and Body, enrollments, you know, rank advancements, people flipping to associate, like those are such great places to start. If you're not checking ISOPULSE every single day, I want you to check it every single day. I don't care if it's blank most days. I want you to check it every day and envision those people coming in and your ISOPULSE needing to be scrolled every single day. You are the leader of your team. You are the owner of your team. It's just going to be so much more fruitful if you're recognizing the small things, and they will grow. We're 7 minutes over. So, Lindsay, you can hop back in if you have any comments you want to add.
Yeah, my internet has cut out, I think 7 times while you were speaking. So we'll see how the recording is. Yeah. Thank you, Allison, very much. Yeah. I loved it. A couple, my favorite line is, what you appreciate grows. Isn't that the truth? And again, recognition doesn't always have to be public. I know Allison said this, but via ISOPULSE every day, I'm always texting people who have enrolled new members. It is always a big deal. It doesn't matter how long you've been an Isogenics for. So a lot of your recognition can just be in the form of acknowledgement. I see you working. I thank you for having a tasting party, right? So it doesn't always have to be a big public Facebook, social media, which are nice, but it doesn't always have to be that. It can be pretty intimate as well. So thank you, Allison. You're the queen of that. So I appreciate you speaking to that. I want to wrap up by thanking again each of you that join these calls live as many weeks as you possibly can. It does make a tremendous difference to whomever is speaking. I know many have watched the recordings. I can see who has, or I can see the number, and it is exciting. I want these calls to always be of value. They are all saved on the YouTube channel. Ugh, I don't know if you guys can still hear me, darn it. Can you hear me? But the black box keeps popping up with my internet. But I do sincerely hope that you have cultivated a relationship with your partner or partners. And even more so, I hope that you get to meet in person, hopefully in Nashville, whether it's a hug, a coffee date, a lunch date, a happy hour. We hope that that relationship can continue to grow and be very fruitful and prosperous for you. And we thank each of you who have spent time with your partners. If you have any other questions for Allison and I, don't hesitate to message us anytime. These calls will always be available to reference or send new associates. Allison, you're simply wonderful, and I appreciate you greatly, and I look forward to doing something together again soon. But until Nashville, you guys enjoy your next month. We'll see you in 4 weeks or so, right? It's so soon.
What'd you say?
We'll see you all in Nashville in a few short weeks.
Yes, we cannot wait, you guys. We cannot wait. If I see you, say hi for sure if we haven't ever met in person. And I'm just excited for Nashville. Keep inviting. I hope you're all still inviting to Nashville right now. It's not too late to be inviting like crazy to Nashville, okay?
It's not at all. There's tickets everywhere. There's lots of tickets for sale, so that's easy. Yeah, Julie's got a couple left still. So thank you, Allison. Thank you all very much. You guys have an awesome couple weeks, and we'll see you in August. Appreciate you.
Yay, bye guys.